So Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0. 3 years on the spin. We have been dumped out of the FA Cup in the early rounds. That is with the same manager that won the competition inside 6 months of being the manager. Before we get into talking about who was good, who was bad, why we lost the game, etc., make sure you do fire the like buttons up, share the content around, leave your comments, and sub to the second channel. Happy days. Cool. Anyway, let's start with the starting 11. The starting 11. Yeah, okay. The sheer arrogance, ignorance, whatever you want to call it, to think you can go to the Etihad and not play your strongest 11 when we haven't got a game for 8 days. And that game, with all due respect, is against a team that's sat 19th in the league, that have just sacked Frank Lampard. And we decided to not play our best 11. That is not good enough. That is disrespectful to the competition, disrespectful to all the, I think there was about 7,000 fans that travelled up to Manchester tonight. It's disrespectful to the rest of the players that did play. It's disrespectful to everyone watching it around the world that's invested in Arsenal, that is an Arsenal fan. It's disrespectful to the football club, the history, the traditions, the fact that we've won the competition 14 times, won it more than any other team, sorry. I've seen 9 of them victories. I've been at cup finals myself, live and direct, watching it live. I've seen us win. I've seen us lose the Owen final, etc. And since this manager has won this competition, the absolute arrogance in this competition stinks. And people are sitting and say, oh, you're overreacting. No, I like this competition. I'm old enough to have seen us win 9 FA Cups. This is a competition that these legends behind me won multiple times. I've seen these people score goals for fun in the FA Cup. I've seen this club dominate that FA Cup pretty much in my lifetime. Now, at the same time, Manchester City, who have a better squad, they have a better manager, actually picked their best 11, apart from the goalkeeper. Ederson was on the bench. So 2 reasons why he picked his best 11. Number 1, he actually respects Arsenal. He respects how we've played this season. He respects us as a football team. He actually respects Mikel Arteta. He's his friend. Of course he is. He respects him as a coach, etc. But it's also, number 2, a trophy that he takes seriously and he wants to try and win. They slapped up Chelsea in the first round. Tonight, they were not at their best. We'll come to that in a minute. But he didn't want to take any chances. And yes, they have a better squad. I get all of that. Cool. So on that basis, you play your best 11 in Arsenal. Because they could bring on Bernardo Silva off the bench. They could sub Kevin De Bruyne off. They could bring on other players, Kyle Walker off the bench, etc. Julian Alvarez off the bench. They could bring these players on. But we decided that we're going to go with Matt Turner, who, by the way, was Arsenal's man of the match. He was actually really good tonight. Excuse me. He was actually very good tonight. He went with Tomiyasu. I thought he played all right as well, to be fair. Nearly scored a great goal in the first couple of minutes. Other than that, he was pretty decent defensively. Can't knock him apart from their goal. What was he doing? What are you doing, my friend? You were letting Jack Grealish dance around in the penalty box and Saka's just standing watching it. And then it goes into Aki. And then Saliba with the most feeble attempt at a block ever. Embarrassing. Shocking goal. Disgusting. But at that point, you're thinking, okay, well, there's still 25 minutes to play. Cool. We can get back into this. So then you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, we could bring Martinelli on. Yeah, we could definitely bring Martinelli on. He could come on. We could bring Odegaard on. Because, again, Fabio Vieira, what does he do? Thomas Partey goes off at half-time. Why? Does anyone know? I don't know. I've not seen anything. There was nothing on the commentary, apparently, from what people were saying in my chat. But that don't look great. I can't lie. You're taking Thomas Partey off at half-time. That must be an injury. That's the only reason I can think of. If you're taking Thomas Partey off at half-time as a tactical change, then I'm sorry, mate. That's weird. So that has to be an injury. You bring on Sambi Lokonga. Cool. I understand he was the only other player in that position that's on the bench. Cool. Whatever. Fantastic. So now our midfield is Fabio Vieira, Sambi Lokonga, and Granit Xhaka. And then you decided to throw Odegaard on right near the end. Eddie Nketiah didn't score tonight. He's been very good recently. Yes, we know he's got work rate and runs his nuts off. Of course we do. Great, fantastic. You paid to score goals, mate. And sometimes you're only going to get one chance in a game, i.e. Newcastle, didn't score, missed. Tonight, one chance in a game, didn't score, missed. Just saying. Anyway, we'll cut him some slack because he's played very well recently. But this manager decides to take off Trossard, take off Tierney and brings Zinchenko on. Tierney, by the way, pocketed Mahrez. Absolutely pocketed him. Nathan Ake pocketed Bukayo Saka, by the way. In the interview, apparently, I haven't seen it because I was live streaming, but in the interview before kickoff, he was asked about his team selection, and he said these players need minutes. Okay, well, somebody that didn't need minutes is Bukayo Saka. So why didn't Marquinhos play then on that basis? Why did nobody ask him that? Rob Holding. Why are you still here? Like, real talk, why are you still at this football club? Oh, that's right. You're the cheerleader. Of course. Shocking again. That guy is not good enough for this club, and he hasn't been for a very long time, if ever. But he's better than Cannavaro, sing the fans. Okay, better in which way? Being a liability? Because that guy is a liability. What was he doing when Haaland nearly went through on goal? Well done to Turner for coming out. What was he doing? What was he doing all game? Well done to Arteta for subbing him. He was shocking. Absolutely shocking. Saliba came on, looked all right, and then did the most feeble attempt at a block. That game was shocking. It wasn't a great watch from both teams. They were there for the taking tonight, and he's thrown that competition in the bin again 3 years straight because of his arrogance and ignorance, thinking that he can go to the Etihad with a weakened team when we've got a game in 8 days. We don't play until 12:30 next Saturday against Everton, and he decides to go with a weakened team. Wow, the arrogance, the actual arrogance stinks. And people say, oh, you're having a meltdown. I'm not having a meltdown. I'm telling you how it is. People don't like the truth. That is arrogance. How dare you go to the best squad, the best manager, and the current reigning champions, albeit it's in the cup competition. How dare you go to their own backyard where we've not won at all in the league since 2015. I don't think we've beaten them in a cup competition now. I'm not sure if we've even played them many times in the cup there since. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But you have that arrogance to go there and change the whole back line, apart from Gabriel. You then decide to put Vieira in instead of Odegaard. This guy has kicked us out of this competition against Southampton 2 years ago, Nottingham Forest last year, and now we beat Oxford and then come up against a poor Man City team tonight. They weren't even in third gear. They were not great tonight. They were there for the taking, and you decide, I'm just going to go with a reserve team. I'll go with a reserve team because I'm Mikel Arteta and we got bigger fish to fry, which will be the narrative tonight, by the way. There'll be a lot of fans out there saying, I had fans in my chat saying, oh, I'm just happy we didn't get slapped tonight. So you're happy we lost and got knocked out of the cup? I want to win the cup. It's a trophy, right? The aim of elite sport is to win trophies. And this guy, the very trophy that he did win, which has given him a lot of credit in the bank with a lot of our fans, he has thrown away 3 years in a row since. That's unacceptable. I'm sorry, it is. Competition that we've won more than any other team. Our whole club is enriched and in this history of the FA Cup. Everyone knows we're the kings of the FA Cup. And for 3 years straight, you have just picked it up, put it in the bin. No, we've got bigger fish to fry. Well, let me just tell you, my friends, last season, the bigger fish to fry was getting top 4. How did that work out? So now if we don't win the league, is anyone going to come back to this FA Cup? Not these. Is anyone going to come back to the FA Cup, knockout against Man City and hold them accountable? They're not, are they? Because it would have been 5 months earlier. If I brush it under the car, let's go and have a nice little summer window and we'll go again. The standards of this football club should be to go and compete for every trophy. Pep Guardiola, fair play to that guy. Yeah, and yes, he has a better squad. I get all of that, which is, again, comes back to why didn't we play our best 11 then? Because he didn't have to, but he did. He played his best 11. We didn't, and we lost. Pep Guardiola takes every cup competition seriously. He wants to try and win every cup. Mikel Arteta sat next to this guy for how many years? And you still ain't got that mentality. And he can sit and cry about, we haven't got the squad, we need the players to have minutes, etc., etc. We have a game in 8 days. 8. You're telling me these players can't play twice over 8-9 days? Sorry, mate, not acceptable. Not happy with it. It's a disgrace. Arrogance has killed him again. And I've gone lightly on him this season because he's doing very well this season. But I can't accept getting kicked out of the FA Cup again by this man. 3 years straight. Well done. You won it. Fantastic. Unai Emery got us to the quarters, by the way. You won it. Well done. Cool. Yeah, I cheered it. I loved it. I appreciate this FA Cup. Same FA Cup that's given him loads of credit in the bank. And you've just picked it up and thrown it in the bin ever since you won it. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. Anyway, subscribe, like, share. Kenny's fan cam will be up next. Then Jez, then Matt. Then player ratings. And then I'm going to bed. Unbelievable. Actually unbelievable. Disgusting. Adios, amigos. Ciao.